Korea has everyday tech that feels like it was smuggled in from the future. While most countries are still arguing about self-checkout machines and broken parking meters, Korea is out here deploying delivery robots, AI-powered stores, and crosswalks that literally glow to stop distracted pedestrians from getting hit by cars. And the wildest part? None of this is experimental. None of this is coming soon. People in Korea use this stuff every single day like it's completely normal. So today we're counting down 12 things in Korea that need to exist everywhere. Because once you see how smart, efficient, and ridiculously futuristic these ideas are, you'll start wondering why the rest of the world is still living in the past. Let's get into it. 1. Robot servers in everyday restaurants. Restaurants everywhere struggle with slow service, crowded dining rooms, and staff sprinting around like they're trying to win a marathon. Korea looked at that chaos and said, let's just use robots. And somehow it works better than anyone expected. These robot servers glide between tables with eerie precision, using LiDAR to map the room and detect obstacles instantly. If someone steps in front of them, they pause politely, wait for the path to clear, and continue on their route like the world's most patient employee. They announce your order in a cheerful voice, bow as they deliver it, and even carry empty dishes back to the kitchen without complaint. The wildest part is how normal they are. You'll see them in barbecue restaurants, cafes, mall food courts, basically anywhere people are eating. They're not a novelty or a gimmick, they're part of the workflow. The result is service that's faster, smoother, and honestly a little fun. It makes dining feel like a theme park ride, and every busy restaurant district in the world should be copying this already. 2. Unmanned convenience stores. With AI checkout, late-night shopping is usually a headache. Stores close early, self-checkout machines break constantly, and even when everything works, you still end up stuck behind someone arguing with the scanner. Korea looked at all of that and built something completely different. Fully unmanned convenience stores that run on AI from the moment you walk in. You don't scan anything. You don't tap anything. You don't even slow down. Ceiling-mounted cameras and shelf sensors track what you pick up in real time, building your cart automatically as you shop. If you change your mind and put something back, the system updates instantly. When you're done, you just walk out. Your total is calculated automatically, and the payment processes on its own without a single line or interaction. What makes this so impressive is how normal it feels. These aren't futuristic prototypes tucked away in tech districts. They're in residential neighborhoods, office buildings, and subway stations. People grab snacks on their way home or pick up essentials after midnight, barely thinking about the tech running behind the scenes. The old way of shopping suddenly feels unnecessarily complicated. It's fast, seamless, and solves every annoying part of convenience store shopping. After walking out without stopping at a checkout counter, anything else feels ancient. 3. Delivery robots in apartment complexes. Food delivery in most cities is slow, unpredictable, and way more chaotic than it needs to be. Drivers get lost in giant apartment complexes, elevators take forever, and half the time you're stuck on the phone trying to explain where you actually live. Korea looked at that mess and built something straight out of a sci-fi movie. Autonomous delivery robots that handle the entire last-mile trip on their own. These little machines roll through apartment complexes like tiny couriers with perfect navigation. They use cameras, sensors, and indoor mapping to move through hallways, avoid obstacles, and even call the elevator when they need to change floors. When they reach your door, they send a notification, wait for you to open the compartment, and then head off to their next delivery without a single complaint. It's efficient, polite, and weirdly charming to watch. What makes this so impressive is how seamlessly it fits into everyday life. You'll see these robots cruising through residential buildings, office towers, and university campuses. Anywhere people order food. They're not a novelty. They're part of the delivery ecosystem. Most people barely look up anymore. The robots have become just another moving piece of the city. The result is faster, cheaper, and more reliable service, especially during bad weather or peak hours. It's the kind of quiet innovation that makes you wonder why every dense city on Earth isn't doing this already. 4. AI ordering kiosks. Everywhere. Ordering food in a busy restaurant is usually a slow, awkward mess. The line barely moves, the menu is confusing, and if you don't speak the language, you're basically guessing and hoping for the best. Korea looked at that whole experience and replaced it with something far smarter. AI-powered ordering kiosks that handle everything from start to finish. These kiosks show crystal clear photos of every dish, support multiple languages, and even remember your past orders so you can reorder with a single tap. They recommend items based on what you like, let you customize every detail, and walk you through the menu in a way that feels effortless. The interface is fast and intuitive. It feels less like using a machine and more like having a patient server who never rushes you. What's wild is how common they are. You'll find them in fast food chains, cafes, dessert shops, and even tiny mom and pop restaurants that would never use this kind of tech anywhere else. In many places, the entire front of house staff has been replaced by a single kiosk wall, and somehow the service gets faster. Customers get exactly what they want, and kitchens get cleaner, more accurate orders. It eliminates miscommunication, speeds up ordering, and makes eating out feel smooth instead of stressful. After using one of these kiosks, shouting your order over a counter feels like stepping back in time. 5. Smart crosswalks with LED safety systems. Distracted walking is a problem everywhere. People stare at their phones, miss the light changing, and step straight into traffic without even realizing it. Korea didn't try to lecture people about paying attention. They redesigned the crosswalk itself to keep everyone safe. At busy intersections, the ground is lined with bright LED strips that glow red or green in sync with the traffic lights. If you're looking down at your phone, you still see the signal right under your feet. Overhead sensors track pedestrian movement, and if someone starts crossing at the wrong time, the system flashes warnings to snap them out of it. Some crosswalks even project laser lines onto the pavement at night, so drivers can see exactly where people are walking, even in heavy rain or low visibility. What makes this so clever is how seamlessly it blends into everyday life. You don't have to download an app, learn a new system, or change your habits. The crosswalk adapts to you. It quietly reduces accidents, helps distracted walkers stay safe, and makes intersections easier to navigate for everyone. Even drivers benefit because the visual cues are impossible to miss. It's such a simple, effective idea that it's honestly shocking more cities haven't copied it already. 6. Heated bus shelters with real-time arrival screens. Waiting for a bus in extreme weather is one of those universal frustrations everyone just accepts. In winter, you're freezing. In summer, you're melting. And half the time, you're staring down an empty street wondering if the bus is ever going to show up. Korea didn't try to make people tougher. They redesigned the bus stop itself. Across major cities, bus shelters come with heated benches in the winter and air-conditioned interiors in the summer. You can sit comfortably, charge your phone, and breathe cleaner air thanks to built-in purifiers that run all day. Large digital screens show exactly when each bus will arrive, down to the minute, so you're never guessing. Some shelters even have emergency call buttons, Wi-Fi, and automatic doors that keep the temperature inside. It feels less like a bus stop and more like a tiny waiting lounge tucked into the street. What makes this so impressive is how seamlessly it fits into everyday commuting. People use these shelters without thinking. They're just part of the city like streetlights or sidewalks. But the difference they make is huge. Suddenly, public transit feels reliable, comfortable, and actually pleasant, instead of something you endure. Even long waits don't feel like punishment anymore. It's the kind of upgrade every city with real seasons should have copied already, because once you've waited for a bus in one of these shelters, everything else feels outdated. 7. High-tech photo booths in Sengnakios. Taking good photos with friends is usually a struggle. Someone blinks, someone looks away, the lighting is terrible, and the whole thing ends up feeling more awkward than fun. Korea solved that problem in the most unexpectedly brilliant way. High-tech photo booths that make everyone look like they just stepped out of a K-drama. These booths automatically adjust the lighting, smooth your skin, sharpen your features, and apply subtle filters that make the photos look professionally edited without feeling fake. You pick a layout, strike a few poses, and within seconds the machine prints crisp. Studio quality strips you actually want to keep. The whole experience is fast, fun, and weirdly addictive. The kind of thing you do once and immediately want to do again. What makes this so uniquely Korean is how common these booths are. You'll find them in subway stations, malls, arcades, cafes, basically anywhere people hang out. Friends stop by after dinner, couples use them on dates, and tourists jump in because the results are consistently great. It's become a cultural ritual, not just a novelty, and half the fun is comparing your photos afterward. The best part is how effortless it feels. No awkward angles, no bad lighting, no endless retakes. Just a few minutes of fun and a set of photos that somehow make everyone look their best. It's the kind of simple, joyful invention every country should have on every corner. 8. App-controlled laundry rooms in apartments. Shared laundry rooms are usually a nightmare. Machines are always full, someone's clothes sit untouched for an hour, and you end up wasting half your day checking whether a washer has finally opened up. Korea didn't try to guilt people into being more considerate. They built a system that removes the chaos entirely. Most modern apartment buildings have app-connected laundry rooms that show you exactly which machines are free before you even leave your unit. You can reserve a washer, track your cycle in real time, and get a notification the moment your laundry finishes. No waiting around, no guessing, and no hovering over someone else's clothes hoping they come back soon. It turns a chore that normally eats your afternoon into something you barely think about. What makes this so clever is how seamlessly it fits into everyday life. People check the laundry app the same way they check the weather. It's just part of the routine. And because the system keeps everything moving, the laundry room stays organized instead of turning into a battlefield of abandoned loads and passive-aggressive notes. Even in huge apartment complexes, the whole process feels surprisingly calm. It's simple, efficient, and eliminates one of the most universally annoying chores. After using a setup like this, going back to a traditional laundry room feels like stepping into the Stone Age. 9. Automated parking towers. Parking in a crowded city is one of those daily frustrations everyone just puts up with. You circle the block, squeeze into a space that barely fits your car, or end up paying way too much for a spot that still feels inconvenient. Korea didn't try to redesign the streets. They built upward instead, creating automated parking towers that store cars like a giant mechanical filing system. Here's how it works. You pull your car onto a platform, step out, and confirm the parking on a touchscreen. The system takes over from there. A lift carries your car into a vertical storage tower, sliding it into an open slot with robotic precision. When you're ready to leave, the machine retrieves your car automatically and brings it back to the entrance, perfectly positioned for you to drive away. No hunting for spaces, no tight turns, no stress. It's strangely satisfying to watch, like your car is being tucked into its own little drawer. What makes this so impressive is how much space it saves. Instead of sprawling parking lots that take up entire city blocks, these towers fit dozens of cars into the footprint of a small building. They're clean, efficient, and surprisingly fast. Most retrievals take less than a minute. And because everything is automated, there's no risk of door dings, scratches, or someone parking too close. Even luxury cars come out exactly the way they went in. It's a smarter, more compact way to handle urban parking, and it makes you wonder why every dense city hasn't adopted this already. 10. Public phone charging lockers. Your phone always seems to die at the worst possible moment. Maybe you're navigating a new city, waiting for a message, or trying to pay for something, and suddenly you're staring at a black screen with no outlet in sight. Korea didn't treat this as a personal problem. They treated it as public infrastructure and solved it with secure phone charging lockers placed everywhere people actually need them. The system is beautifully simple. You open an empty compartment, plug in your phone, lock it, and walk away. No hovering over a wall outlet, no sitting on the floor next to a cable, and no worrying about someone grabbing your device while you're not looking. When you come back, your phone is fully charged and exactly where you left it. It turns a moment of panic into a moment of relief. What makes this so effective is how widespread these lockers are. You'll find them in subway stations, malls, parks, universities, and even nightlife districts where people constantly run out of battery. They're cheap to use, easy to understand, and perfect for quick top-ups that keep your day moving. And because they are secure, people actually trust them, which is half the battle. It's one of those small conveniences that quietly eliminates a universal frustration. After using one of these lockers, hunting for an outlet or carrying a bulky power bank feels completely unnecessary. 11. AR navigation in subway stations. Big subway stations are confusing in every country. The signs never seem to point where you expect. The exits are numbered in ways that make no sense, and transferring lines can feel like wandering through an underground maze. Korea didn't try to simplify the stations. They built a digital guide that makes the maze easy to navigate. Using AR navigation built into popular transit apps, you just point your phone's camera down a hallway and watch glowing arrows appear on your screen, showing you exactly where to walk. It guides you to the right platform, the right exit, and even the right staircase in real time. No guessing, no backtracking, and no standing in the middle of a corridor trying to decode a map that looks like a bowl of spaghetti. It turns the whole station into a guided path that unfolds as you move. What makes this so impressive is how natural it feels. You're not learning a new system or relying on a gimmick. You're simply following digital markers that blend into the real world. Tourists use it, commuters use it, even locals who know the station still use it because it's faster than thinking. It removes the mental load of navigating a giant transit hub and replaces it with something almost instinctive. It turns massive, intimidating subway stations into something intuitive and almost effortless. After experiencing this once, every other transit system feels stuck in the past. 12. Smart trash bins that compact waste. Public trash cans overflow everywhere. It doesn't matter if you're in a park, a shopping district, or a busy transit hub. Eventually, the bins fill up, spill over, and turn into a mess nobody wants to deal with. Korea didn't try to blame the public or increase pickup schedules. Instead, they upgraded the trash cans themselves. Across major cities, you'll find solar-powered smart bins that automatically compact waste as they fill. Each time someone throws something in, the bin compresses the trash, creating more space and preventing overflow before it happens. Because they hold several times more waste than a normal bin, they stay cleaner for longer and require far fewer pickups. And when they finally do reach capacity, they send an alert to the city so workers only empty the bins that actually need attention. It's a small tweak that completely reshapes how waste management works. What makes this so clever is how invisible the technology feels. People toss their trash in like normal, unaware that a small machine inside is quietly optimizing the entire waste collection system. Streets stay cleaner, cities save money, and the whole process becomes more efficient without anyone changing their behavior. Even in the busiest areas, the bins rarely look full, which subtly makes the whole city feel more cared for. It's one of those simple, practical innovations that solves a universal problem with almost no downside. After seeing how well these bins work, regular trash cans feel like relics from another era. Korea isn't just ahead in technology, it's ahead in everyday life. These aren't prototypes or futuristic concepts, they're real systems people use without thinking, woven into the rhythm of daily routines. And that's what makes them so impressive. While most countries are still debating how to modernize, Korea has already built a version of the future that actually works. Practical, thoughtful, and designed around how people really live. It's a glimpse of what any city could become if it stopped settling for good enough and started aiming for something smarter. Because once you've seen how Korea handles the small things, it's hard not to understand why so much of the world still feels stuck in the past.